Phone calls from prison dropped this call between Nesto and Dre on November 16, 2023.
They talking about these supposed to be pictures that's not even a full picture. That's supposed to be a portion of a picture that's on your phone. Like one girl said, get the lawyer to do forensics, pull the guy doggone file, find out where the picture came from, and see that he sent it, did somebody sent it to him. That's all you got to do. They got lawyers for that. See, I like when they talk like that. Yeah, if you really want to know, this is true. If it's a female, if it's a child, if it's a grown woman, get somebody to pull her. They got specialists for that. And she right.
That's right.
Oh, no, he's a pedophile. He's this. And he got a child, and you can't even see the child. Exactly. That's the part when I be want to call in and say, no. Now, if you was a sugar dad or whatnot, whatever, I tell you, yeah, 19, 20-year-old, he ain't never had to do that. Never.
Thank you.
And I'm not saying this because I'm your friend. I'm saying this because this is what I know. Because I've been around you. So now, I don't buy the picture. They're going to have to show me with you with it, with a tape, and for me to believe it. And then I ain't going to believe it then because I'm going to have to get it from you because I'm going to have to ask you face to face, did you do that?
Oh, absolutely. You already know. I ain't even got to be in your face. You already.
On April 8th, 2024, Ernest Williams had a probable cause hearing. At the hearing, probable cause was found on all 4 counts of the CP charges.
So let's get into what they're alleging the pictures have on them. Y'all ready for this? The first one was stamped as 000012. It was an 11 to 13-year-old giving oral dog while holding the dog's. The second pic was 000019. They believe the person was between 12 and 14. They were on their knees. They had heavy makeup on. And basically there was a dog in the picture and the dog was being instructed by somebody to do things. So there was some adult male in there trying to tell them to do things to the children. Tell you. Then they had the third pic was 00029. It was between 14 and 16. And they said it was a juvenile whose legs were spread wide open, which was showing her. And they said the juvenile was given. This is all alleged, okay? We don't know if these his pictures or not. We don't know if it's his laptop. That's what their argument is. Then we have the fourth picture was 00030. They said it was a 14 to 16-year-old juvenile. They were completely. And they said why the dog was giggling. So these are supposed to be alleged 4 pics of what the charge is about. And she said that they lack developmental features. And she was like, well, how would you know, that the ages that you gave? And she said she's had a lot of training. And so she said, how do you know that they are basically under the age of 18? She said there are certain things that they look at, such as body features. They look at breast development, how the genitalia is developed, facial features, and all coupled together, the totality of that. Then they come up to these ages. Then she said, this type of content is not readily available on the internet. She said someone would have to proactively find this. So this is the type of stuff that's on like the dark webs and all of that. That's the example she gave. So you have to be actively looking for this. So she did also say there were some pictures that the ages were questionable. So those aren't the ones that he will be charged with because there were other pictures, but there were some that had questionable ages to them. So she said after she reviewed all of this information, she swore to the affidavit and she got the right in the warrant for his arrest. So she's the one that swore to the affidavit for the warrant for his arrest. Then DDA Winfrey came back and she said, how long did you have Mr. Williams under surveillance, or how long were you looking at him and investigating him? And she said they surveyed him for 30 days prior to his arrest. So he was being looked at for 30 days prior to his arrest. So then Detective Melissa Soroka, she comes on. I probably messed her name up. You guys know I mess up names, but it's okay. And she says she's an investigator now at the Sheriff's Department for the DA. That's like recent, but at that time, she was a detective at Roswell Police. And she was in her area was crimes against children. And she said, and she deals with all of those crimes that are deviant. You know, she deals with the deviant crimes. So she said she too is post-certified. So she said, I'm qualified for this. So she said Detective Fields came to her because she was investigating, you know, this Mr. Williams. And she said she reviewed some evidence in the electronics that perplexed her, and she needed her to review that content and also the legality of that content that she found. So this is another thing. She did not review this till January of 2023. So it didn't get to the actual person that's considered the expert to review it until 2023. So it was almost around the same time the actual charges came. So it doesn't sound like they may have seen it, but when you go through the process, it wasn't until then that they got to the point, I guess, where they can actually arrest them for it. So it doesn't sound like it was we just had a whole bunch of stuff against them, was just stacking it on. They were still investigating something else. And then when they got enough information, that's when he ended up getting charged. So then she goes in about the specific software that they use. And she describes, you know, how they actually extract the evidence. So she said she reviewed all the pictures and stuff with Miss Fields. Then she reviewed specific files of interest. And she said it was a large catalog. Lots of files with videos and images and all type of stuff. She said there was about 34 depictions that were juvenile, like sexually explicit. And then acts, and she said, but 4 out of those, they knew they were under the age of 18.
Now, in November of 2022, Nesto's vehicle that he was driving when he was apprehended was picked up by Shirley Strawberry, the rightful owner of the vehicle, along with Nesto's son, Dion. During the conversation after the vehicle was picked up, Nesto asked if his computer was still in the vehicle. So let's listen to how that conversation went.
I fool with it once to get cleaned in here. This is like somebody crawling her. I think I'm going to tell her just to get out of there and give her my car.
It looks like a homeless person lived in here for a while.
This time.
Yeah, they messed it up. Yeah.
For real?
I mean, it just looks a mess. You know, it looks a mess.
It's like they broke this passenger seat the more I keep looking at it. So it's just a bunch of air. It's like it's sideways. It don't look like it's crooked.
No, not to me from this angle.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I don't expect them to take care of anything. You know, they go in and ransack. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I guess.
So how are you today?
I'm good. They took the computer out too. I'm pretty sure they took the computer out and all that too. That
Your
probably
computer?
Yeah, they probably took that out too.
Oh yeah, so they could find stuff. So they could think they can find stuff.
Ain't nothing but a bunch of junk. We went and collected a bunch of junk the other day. You ain't got nothing but a bunch of junk and your little your throw, the sheet thingy.
Wow. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I figured that anyway. Okay. Did it have?
Now, in conclusion, I know that by now Nesto is going to have a lot of long conversations with a lot of people. I just want to say that the long conversation between Dre and Nesto is definitely due at whatever point Nesto can have it. So I just want to say, Dre, don't let him get out of this long conversation with you. Whether he's found guilty or innocent, whether he goes to trial or pleads out, I do think that your friendship is worth and owed an explanation on this situation.